What's up, guys? Max Everett Maxwell here. I really just want to take the time to discuss the idea that I've known for all my life, but haven't really practiced what I would think about, and that's you just have to allow people to miss out on your life. As harsh as that does sound to say, if somebody is not willing to have the patience for you to see who God made you to be, you just have to allow them to just move on. You just have to allow them to just live their life, because working so hard to prove to somebody, even like a complete stranger or somebody, by that I mean somebody that you've just met, prove to that person that you're interesting and that you hold value. You're not only wasting your time, but you're also preventing that person from allowing them to live the life that God has called them to be. Because, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself, because there have been so many instances where I would push so much for somebody that I knew to give me attention. Not in a, maybe I'm wording that wrong, but to just have them stick around and just work so hard for them to give me a chance to see who I am and the qualities that I possess. And I want to talk to you about this. I want you to see, how my mind works. I want you to see what I'm doing in this area, and this field, with this endeavor, all of that. I would be pushing so much for that to hold on to people, because I felt like because God brought them into my life, I had to hold on to them for dear life, because I thought, he's brought them into my life. They're in my life forever. I got to keep them there. It's my responsibility to grasp onto them. And obviously that's not true at all, because God has people in your life for a specific purpose. And once that purpose has been fulfilled, you just have to understand what that lesson is and thank God for that blessing and move forward. And sometimes, because this is a depending scenario, sometimes we meet people and they are such a light in our life, and then all of a sudden we see their true colors, and it seems like they betray us, or they turn against us without us knowing, or just without our permission, and then we're wondering, like, what did I do wrong? God, why didn't you tell me? Why don't you tell me what I did for this person to just flat out leave? But at the end of the day, you have to recognize that if people choose to miss out on you, you have to just let them. As sad as it is, because there have been so many instances where I've wanted to hold on to people, because I felt like there were so many instances where I was playing God in my own mind instead of trusting in God and allowing Him to do His work. I would work to hold on to people so much because I thought it was my responsibility to help somebody. It was my responsibility to, like, there were, in the past, there were so many times where I put on this superiority complex where I was thinking, they need me. They, I have so much to give to this person, so much, the purpose that God has given me, they need to see it. They must see it. And I would just push so much over and over and over again. And I would just be going in circles because I was pouring so much energy into other people that I ended up draining my own energy because I was putting inventory into somebody else who I don't even know. It's the equivalent of you pouring water on concrete, thinking that the water is going to make the concrete grow. Nothing's going to happen. All you're doing is just you're draining your resources to something that's immovable and stagnant. That's not to say that, like, everybody is stagnant. Don't take that the wrong way. But in terms of forcing yourself to grasp onto people who either not even acknowledging you or choosing to have a fixed mindset, as well as them just choosing not to give you the time of day, you just have to let them be. You have to let them go on, live their life, and just wish them well. And that's it. Unfortunately, there's really nothing you can do. But you spend time the most with yourself more than anybody else. So now that you've taken the attachment off of somebody else and you're putting the time back into reinvesting in yourself, reinvesting in whatever calling God has for you, whether that's fitness, whether that's painting, whether that's drawing, or it could be a bunch of creative endeavors combined all into one, whether that's being an author. You give yourself all the time that you need. Invest in yourself and do it not only for God, but do it for the joy of having a passion without expecting any specific outcome in return. Do it because you have the free will. Not only the free will, but do it because it glorifies God and it makes you feel fulfilled. And separate your fulfillment from how much attention you're getting. Because the biggest lie that I believed was that if I got enough likes on this, if I get enough follows, if I get the right reaction from somebody, then I can say I'm accomplished and I'm doing something right. And that is total BS. You do what you love because God created you to create for the purpose that you feel led to do. Do it for the joy of living and acting upon a specific purpose. Don't do it for the sake of, I need to increase my status. I need to, I need to get the girl. I need to get, I need to be part of this club. Because the more that you chase, the more you continue to lose yourself more and more and more and more. But when you fully separate the idea of I'm doing this to get this outcome from external sources, when you throw away that idea and tell yourself, I am doing this for the joy of the craft and not for the likes or the follows, and doing it simply for the joy that God has placed these passions on your heart, then your fulfillment is tremendous. And the more that you repeat that mantra to yourself, I'm doing this for the sake of living out just the life that God has called me to live. When you keep living for the sake of that, then your potential is limitless. You will get so much done. You will feel so fulfilled. You will feel so proud of yourself. And you will have so much consistent joy, consistency in accomplishments, consistency in your habits. Say, for instance, you're somebody who you wanted to get, put in a YouTube video every day, content such as talking about God or biblical self-improvement, or content where you wanted to do, I'm going to think of something really random, but Minecraft Let's Plays. Say that, God has called you to make Let's Plays, or God has called you to do drawing tutorials, what have you. God has called you to do something that you feel deep down is fulfilling, but you've delayed it so much because you kept worrying about what others thought. You kept worrying about how much feedback it was getting, how much traction it was getting, whatever craft it was, whatever niche it is. You will be so inconsistent because you are putting your energy into other people instead of just letting them be. If people see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But God always sees what you do, and you always see what you do. And if you feel fulfilled with what you're doing, do it to your heart's content. As long as you feel you're glorifying God with what you're doing, do it. Immerse yourself in it. Let yourself be overwhelmed with creativity and do as much as you possibly can, because this life is so short, and you might as well have that creativity burst in all areas of your life. Do it because, not only because you love yourself, but because God loves you. God bless you guys. And Max from Maxwell, signing out.